right, that's enough of that. Anyway, hello everyone. You're still clapping even. Anyway. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the final episode of the Bad Questions Worst Answers podcast. Each week, I, Connor, along with my friend Charlie,
here we go.
Present a bad question to the others. Then we attempt to explore these bad questions with the worst answers. Guys, it is a sweaty episode. I haven't showered.
Same here.
Yet. Yeah,
couple of dirty guys.
As you can see, I have the outfit on from yesterday's video. And
how many buttons down are we right now, Connor?
We're 2 buttons down.
Just for everybody in the viewing audience.
Yeah, in case you wanted to get a little steamy on the pod, there you go. There's that.
I got my sleeves rolled up. It's not quite as cool, but they're rolled up.
I never really wore like jean shirts before, but after like wearing this like in like a stylish way with like shorts, since it's been like a little bit nice out, it's been good. Like I've been digging it. Like it's just comfy, and I think it's
That's
like an
nice.
oversized like jean shirt too. So like I don't know, I feel confident in it, I guess.
I like that. That's a win. How do we feel about the rolled up long sleeve? Is it a bit of a is it kind of a stupid move? Like, should you just wear a short sleeve at that point?
I think it just means like you're getting work done. Like if you have like a long sleeve that's rolled up, like you kind of mean business. Like you're walking in ready to like do some work,
Yeah, and I mean I love it for the versatility, the ability to go from, heat of the afternoon, it's warm out, it's hot, I'm working, I'm doing stuff, to okay, it's casual, we're having a cocktail, come down the sleeves. Like, God, I'm really making a fool of myself on that outfit change I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something good about it for sure.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, I guess we want to start off the pod with some teasers and a follow-up.
Big news.
Yeah, big news
on this final episode of the pod.
Yeah. Some real big news. But first, let's follow up. Last week we got a really disappointing answer from the kangaroo question. It was disastrous.
Last week's episode is something of a blemish on what I'd call an otherwise completely perfect track record of pod production. I think normally we do these things without a hitch. They're straight up, Emmy-worthy productions that we do here, and last week's was a bit of a downer. I'm willing to admit it.
Yeah, it was. We had a real tough cookie of a guest. He was you couldn't compromise with him.
He's a real stickler.
Yeah, he really...
And you know what he did? Connor? He revealed that our big hidden huge reveal guest was going to be Jeannie. And so you know what we did? We looked at that and we said, maybe we need to swing bigger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if Brett's already revealed that it's Jeannie and Jeannie's out there, like it's...
What's the magic of it? What's the magic of it? Yeah.
So just keep looking out. We're promising big things.
Yeah, keep on the lookout, guys, because we have a guest that we're scheduling that it's going to be huge. What we're coming up with.
Something earth-shattering is a big word. And we know on the pod that I don't like to throw around intense language unless I really mean it. But
yeah.
This is something stratospheric for the pod. So
yeah, it is going to be brace yourself. It's going to be a big moment in the BQWA. You guys, if you knew who we were trying to get scheduled, yeah, you would. Oh man, I don't even want to talk.
But this episode,
yeah.
But this episode is just normal. There's nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
it's a normal
cool
episode, but
yeah.
some big stuff.
Anyway, the kangaroo question from last episode that Brett totally, ruined. I think it's fair to say. No shade, but he ruined that episode.
Yeah, typical Brett. Anyway, we don't want to shit on Brett anymore. We did enough of that last year,
and we don't want to bring him into this. Like,
yeah, we don't want to.
This is our space.
Yeah, we don't want to give him any more attention that he probably wants. But yeah, so a friend of the show, regular commenter now. Moist Bean, he hopped on my live stream and in my comment section on the most recent video and said that he kind of asked around his friends, just pitching the kangaroo question, and his friends said that the consensus of it is that they would be paying like $50 for like feeling the kangaroo's kind of like pouch. I mean that was the monetary consensus that they came to, which I thought was interesting and very nice of Moist to go around and just kind of field the question out to his friends, see what they were thinking.
Yeah, no, that's what we like to see. And I mean, I think in the last episode, where I desperately tried to pump life back into that question for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we probably at some point in there mentioned roughly that price range, and I think that $50 to $100 range is sort of the sweet spot for how much is a kangaroo pouch, worth in terms of getting that opportunity. So that's good to know. Check out the last episode if you haven't. Really, good
make sure to watch last episode.
Again, it's not good content. One of the worst ones, but go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, go check it out. Thank you to Moist Bean for just thank you for that.
We love to see that engagement. Speaking of engagement, big things coming in the Discord. Little Birdie told me.
If you haven't joined the Discord, make sure to join it because there are going to be we're going to be fielding some just some ideas that we've had aesthetically for the podcast, and we want to get your guys' ideas on it. So yeah, make sure to join the Discord for that.
And also, we're just having a good time, right? We're trying to get a little more engagement going on there. We've got some plans in the works to try and get that space a little more active, get some engagement happening there. So just hop in there if you haven't. We're gonna be having a good time.
Yeah, building more of a community in there. Which I think
when I talk about having a good time somewhere, it pushes people away.
Yeah,
I think it's best if I talk about not having a good time, and that'll bring people more in if I seem miserable.
Yeah. Connor's Graveyard Discord, join down below. I changed it. From
after last episode.
Yeah, after last episode, which I think is honestly for the best, because I do like the name Connor's Graveyard. I think it has kind of a ring to it. I think it's just a cool name. And there are also going to be some a big announcement with that Connor's Graveyard, and just my own personal aesthetic, some not really deviating, but I mean I kind of had but yeah, they're just gonna be an announcement soon coming out of that, so make sure to stay tuned for that as well on the
Connor. I've been thinking lately, this has just popped into my head. I'd really like to be able to put the Tuesday Ghost on my body.
Really?
Yeah, so it just seems like maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, maybe. It's crazy that just pops in your head.
It just came to me. I was just like, I've just been like sitting around, it's spring break. I've been doing whatever. And it just kind of popped in, like, maybe it'd be nice to be able to wear the Tuesday Ghost right now,
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I'll have to talk to you about that after.
We'll have to think about that.
Yeah, we'll have to Yeah, we'll have to think about that one.
I mean, there's nothing. It'll come. It'll come.
Yeah, it'll be there, but
It'll be there.
yeah,
Little Body Tuesday ghost
yeah.
going on. Alrighty.
Okay. Speaking of money, how much money are you comfortable giving or losing?
Well, if it's to put the Tuesday merch on my body, almost anything. I mean, I'm willing to
Me too.
shell out. Shell out? Is that a term? Shell
Yeah.
out? I'm willing to give out a large sum of gold, and physical currency, to put the Tuesday merch on me. But when it comes to most everything else, it depends, right? Like it depends on what the item is. I think we've talked before, and I've said this for years. Gosh. And let me tell you, one of the things I've always believed.
This has kind of been my personal mantra for quite some time. So
I've always been a big believer in the $20 rule. And what is the $20 rule? It's that when something exceeds $20, I start to think about it, and that's just a rule for me. Under 20, I can kind of, 1995, like, you know what? If it seems like a good cause, I'll do it, right? I'm not going to kick myself over that. Obviously, it depends, but that's kind of my thing. And then I think once you're over 20, you got to start thinking about it. And then I think once it's like in that $50 to $100 range is when the stakes really start coming into play. How about you?
Yeah, I think, because I definitely apply that to where it's like anything over 20,
The
like,
$20 rule.
Yeah, the $20 rule. Yeah, I even like applied it today. I think that's why fast food for me is so dangerous, because it's like $8, almost like $10 most of the time. And it just adds up, and like that's why I think I talked about this like on the New Year's episode, I think with Max or something, and it's just a dangerous game. Like that, it just adds up, and you don't even think about it. And like I've been a little bit more liberal with the way I spend money this past month, just because the stimulus check or whatever, like just all that jazz. And I kind of hate it because I'm like I'm trying to work out and like stay like relatively healthy, and like not only am I like making like a dent in my wallet that doesn't really need to be there in the first place, and like just wasting more food at home, and it's just like not that healthy for you. Like it's just way more calories, and you're getting like not as much food for how much you really could be going for, and that like it adds up. And like, but like I didn't really buy any like expensive like things either. Like maybe I bought like a $40 record, and that was it. Like I had to like really sit there.
Through your whole balance sheet, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, like I had to really think about that. I was like, do I really want to buy Lana Del Rey's new album on vinyl? And I sat there for maybe 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I kind of do. I do want to spend that.
I have a real problem with that kind of thing, where like once I've thought about buying something, it's very hard to unthink about it. Like I have it with camera stuff, especially. Like once I've thought, man, like that lens would be really nice to have. It's like impossible to not only like my entire brain is just like that lens all day, just thinking about that kind of thing. And that stuff's bad because lenses are expensive, but like I've got a real problem like ignoring something once I've thought about it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like an impulse buyer too, where if I fixate on something where I'm like, this is so fucking cool, like I just want to buy this right now, and most of like I have to really restrain myself to not do it, and most of the time I'm successful, but there will be times where I'm just not, and I get it in the mail, Especially with clothes. I'll get clothes in the mail and then I'll maybe wear it once, not even, and it goes on my closet and I don't wear it, and I'm just like, why did I buy this? Like, I don't know, like, but also I think like I do need to diversify my closet more, just because I feel like I wear the same stuff every week. But yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a real. It's weird though, because it like varies for me from thing to thing. Like with food, when I'm in the grocery store, I'm really good at only getting the stuff I need and like not getting like a box of Oreos or something, which I desperately want. Like I'm good at ignoring that stuff when I can think, no, that's like a bad thing to have. Like with the Oreos, it's like I have to spend money on that, and it's like undesirable to be in
Yeah.
my life. Like it's gonna have a net negative. But when I'm like at Home Depot or something, I do a lot of like woodworking and with the architecture stuff, like model making and stuff. So I end up there, and it'll be like, man, this little saw seems super useful, and I have no immediate need or use for it. Or like maybe there's like, super tangentially something I
Yeah.
mildly could use it on. But I've got a huge problem with just like when I can't attach something to like a negative outcome, it's like very difficult for me to not just get it
Yeah.
right in the moment.
Yeah, I'll do that with records and clothes where I'm like, this seems like it could like look really cool on me,
Mm-hmm.
or like I've been listening to this artist a lot. I made up my Amazon wish list for that, or like, oh, I've been playing this Mario game a lot. What if the new one came out? So I mean, why
Yeah,
not just buy that? And it's bad because I feel like I have somewhat an expensive taste too. Like, I don't know why. I think my dad has kind of an expensive taste for things. Like, he always wants something nice. Um, and I kind of had that a little bit too. So it's bad because it's weird because I feel like shit every time I pay more than if I pay like $50 for something. I'm like, fucking damn it, that's like
yeah,
more than my groceries for like 2 weeks or something. Like and like I look at my credit card and I'll be like I could have dropped this by $100 if I just didn't pay
uh-huh.
for this that I didn't need, and I feel like garbage for it. But then I'm like, it's like, oh, I guess I'll deal with it. I don't know.
Yeah. How much do you like track your expenses? Like I've started lately or this year, like part of my New Year's thing that I ended up doing was like writing out my expenses pretty well. Like it's not perfect, and I know that I lose probably like maybe a quarter of my spending, like just throughout the month with stuff in cash or whatever. But like I started really trying to keep up to date on that stuff, and it's really helped me like get more like narrowed down and like focused on what I spend and where it goes. Do you do that kind of thing at all?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty vigilant with my spending. Yeah, it's tough. Like when I worked at Walmart, uh, heaven forbid I did that. uh, like
We love Wally World here on the pod.
yeah, ugh. Uh, when money was coming in, I was like, fuck it, I'll buy fast food like whenever. And then I got fat and I quit my job at Walmart, and I was like, this needs to change. I need to get healthy and
Mhm.
fix my finances, um which I worked on that quite a bit the past couple months. March has been like a little flagrant just because I got my stimulus check, so I'm like, oh, I can like
Yeah, yeah.
buy this just because.
Loosen up the old spending bells a bit.
Woo! All right.
Fatten up that wallet.
Yeah.
Um, the one thing for me though, like yeah, I'm this or I've been the same way this year. Now that I'm keeping track of that more than I used to, where it was just like kind of seeing at the end of the month like what the total was, and it'd be like whatever. Now that I'm sort of seeing it like item by item a little bit, or like category by category, like food and gas and whatever. Gas is the one where I just like, it's just like a complete like, because it feels so necessary, right? Like it's not like I can put it off or like stretch it out anymore.
Yeah, it's
like,
not like you can't.
really,
It's
like,
yeah, it's a necessity. Like you can't not
Yeah.
have spend gas for your car. Yeah.
And so that one is just like a big amount of my spending each month is gas. And that one's one where I just feel like so helpless. Like there's
Yeah.
there's very
And you
few
drive a
options.
truck too, right?
Yeah, which doesn't help. And I'm pretty good at driving it like to get as much mileage as I can. Like I enjoy sort of that challenge of trying to get as much as I can out of it. But yeah, that definitely doesn't help. And it's actually been good because I've started trying to walk places more. Like if it's a 5-minute drive or a 20-minute walk, like I'll just do the 20-minute walk. Like it's
Yeah.
nice to get out those breaks. So it's been good, but it's just still feels so hopeless. Like it's
Yeah.
such big. It's like maybe a third of my spending each month is gas, outside of like more like actual spending, like rent and that kind of thing. But yeah, and it's really defeating and just a complete outlier from everything else, where I feel like I sort of have control or have tried to sort of condense it a little bit. There's just like nothing I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way. I guess like I don't drive that much. Really either. And like I have like a smaller, not compact car, but it like it's pretty much that, to where like I don't really use a whole lot of gas. Like I feel like I get pretty good mileage on it. It's like it's normally like $20 to fill my tank, but now that those gas prices are going up,
Yeah.
so it was like
Well, and it's so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper back in Nebraska than it is out here in Cali anyway. Like it's just like getting shot every
Really?
time I go. Yeah,
how much per gallon is it?
It can be, it's like well over 3, like maybe 340.
Damn.
How much is it there?
I think it's like in the, I don't think it's in the 3s. I know it's probably in like the mid 2s or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know gas is just going up in general.
Yeah, something, yeah. But yeah, it's super, it's a major annoyance, the gas thing. And like we said, like with the $20 thing, like it's sort of like food is an exception to that because I buy it in like a large quantity and can go a couple weeks on it, so that's fine. Like that's going to be a big number. But gas just hurts because I go and I fill up and it's like $50 or $60 or something, and it's like I can't, like it's just, what am I supposed to do? Really, really obnoxious. But I guess in terms of your question, in like the broader context of giving, and we sort of talked about this before the show, like how much are you willing just to like hand out or something? I feel like it's that $50 mark on something like that where you really, for me, where I really start to think about it.
Yeah.
And it becomes like a heavier thing.
How much are you willing to like gamble? Like if you were to go to a casino, how much would you be willing to put down?
Yeah, it's I feel like it's $100 max. Like I'll take in like a $100 bill, but it's maybe even something where like I'll take that in and I'll put that down. But if I'm losing 50, maybe I stop then. Maybe like that's the gambling approach.
I would have to be like in a really comfortable place to be able to just gamble in general.
Yeah,
like
it's something. Yeah, I just have no interest in it because it's just a sinkhole,
and it's so addicting to where like I know that I'm just gonna get hooked on it. Like I've done this before when do you remember like when CS:GO unboxings were a big thing?
Yeah.
If I got into the groove of that, I got really like into the groove of that where
I didn't know that.
I would just play a fuck ton of CS:GO games and rack up those boxes, and I would just be like fuck, like I would just buy one key and I'd be like, fuck, I really want this gun skin, so I'll just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy like all the keys for this and just spend it all. And I'll be like, this is, and I would just feel like garbage by the end of it. And
yeah, I've got a real like I've got a addictive personality is such like an annoying term to throw around.
Yeah.
But like I can tell yeah, I can like feel myself get sucked into things like that. Or like there's like video games where I've like had to say like I will not let myself buy that, because if I buy it I will just get so sucked in. Like I'll just lose weeks on end. And
no, I'm the same way too, where it's like I'm either all in or no. Like it's like with drinking, like I'm either not drinking or drinking like 12 White Claws and getting like so fucked up. Like it's either all in or not. And like I know that's dangerous, so like I can't. And like I purposely cater my lifestyle to not be into those things, so yeah.
I recently turned 21. Longtime pod listeners will know exactly when. And it's, I mean, like it's been like a new level of exposure now where I just have like the option to have like alcohol kind of whenever, wherever.
Yeah.
It's definitely been something where I've had to like start thinking more about it. Like, cause it's the kind of thing, and I mean, my I don't have a particularly good genealogy for this kind of thing either. Like there's some pretty serious alcoholism history in my family and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the kind of thing where like I've had to dial it back. Like I've had to be like, no, like that's gonna go too far if I don't keep it controlled. And gambling would absolutely be the same way.
Yeah. No, yeah, me too. Where it's just like I gotta go fucking all in on this, or what's the point? Like I can't. And it's just like it's weird because like you're almost like killing two birds with one stone, where you are making some sort of detriment to your life and also making a detriment to like your financials. So it's like like I don't care if you smoke, like I don't have anything against smoking, but like smoking is so expensive. Like it's such an expensive habit to where like if you like vape or like just smoke cigarettes, it's so incredibly expensive. And like, and it's like a habit to where it's like it's almost like not even exclusive to everything else, because you can have that and also be spending other shit too. It's so it like the hole that you can get yourself into is crazy.
Yeah. Do you think I was thinking about this with the gambling thing? I think for me, like if I were to go and gamble, it would be at like blackjack or poker tables or something like that. I think blackjack's the one where you have the best chance at getting money back too, since there's no real way for the casino to game that one. So I would do it there, and I think I would have like an overinflated sense of my skill level too. Like I would just go in with some confidence, like I'm pretty good at blackjack, when I'm like very mediocre at blackjack. But I think that would be a problem for me too. Like I wouldn't want to, if I didn't set myself really good limits and like have it laid out well and set out well for me, I would be very inclined to like, oh, I'll be able to make this back. Like I'm down big, but like if I if I play this clutch, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'd have a real problem with my own like ego in that sense.
Yeah, and even that, like, you get, like, a dopamine hit whenever you just spend money in general. Like buying something, like, I feel like shit it's almost like jerking off. Like, you come and it feels awesome, and then, like, the post that, you're just so depressed where, like, you just feel awful about yourself. Like that's like spending money in a way, at least for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
mean to get too crude on that. So first cum joke of the year.
it's yeah, that's another thing where I try and control it. Like if I do splurge on something, if I do splurge and like let myself get, I don't know, I mentioned earlier like a camera lens or a tool or something like that. If I do splurge and let myself do that, I then have to like, and I've gotten better at this lately, but I like try and use that as motivation to not spend something else, like spend on something else again soon, you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, but I got that already. So let's at least spread it out a little bit more, so that the next thing will feel more valuable and that kind of a deal. And I think that's good. It's all about, I think, sort of like, yeah, like we've talked about like how gambling and spending is sort of a game, right? Like you put things into it and get something out. And I think the key has been for me to like get better at managing money, which has nothing to do with what we're supposed to talk about. Has
Yeah.
been to like game the opposite end of it. Like game, you know, how much I can save, or like the mileage thing on my truck, or, you know, taking walks instead, like those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Finding little ways to find mini victories in the not spending is key.
No, yeah, I feel the same way.
So where are what are you at like, so for the giving thing, are we agreed that it's sort of the $50 to $100 area is
Yeah.
what we're comfortable tossing up?
Yeah, I don't have to think about it a lot, but I would definitely become, because even like records, I'm not willing to spend more than like $100 on a record. Like no matter how rare it is, like I would have to really think about it to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think anything over that is when that like 3-digit area is when I really have to start thinking about it. Like if it's a camera thing, it's like, will this genuinely help me make like more money here? Or like, you know,
Yeah.
like can I, if I get this lens, can I, you know, make it back somewhere in other commissions or something? Like have to really, or with woodworking, it would be the same thing. Like where's the line where I can say, yes, this will, you know, actually profit me down the road.
Yeah.
I heard an interesting, this isn't particularly insightful. I think a lot of people have rules like this, but they were like, whenever you make money in, I think you could maybe say it applies to everything, but they meant it in the context of sort of a hobby craft thing like photography or like videography or woodworking or whatever it is, graphic design, something. Like whatever you make back, in the same way that you should take like whatever percent you can, like X percent, and put it straight to savings and save that. They were like, you should take 5% of it and put it back into that craft, you know, like back into new lenses and tools and hardware, whatever. And I thought that was it's been like helpful for me just as a vague benchmark to know like what's a reasonable amount to put back in off of a commission or something like that I
Yeah. That's a really good idea. Yeah, like when I get to the point to like make money off of like YouTube videos, like it would be so fucking nice to be able to like reinvest that back into just like getting like a new camera or like just a new setup in general. Like that'd be the best. Cause like I've literally had this like all this same equipment for years and years that I've just been using. Like it gets me by. Like it's like it does well. But I mean things could always be better.
Yeah, and for me it's just like it's such a nice like line in the sand to have, you know, because if I do a lot of photography commissions over the summer, mostly like architectural photography. And I don't know why I'm like specifying that, but like I'll make like some decent money off of that over a summer.
Yeah.
And it's tough because it's like my immediate instinct is like I want to spend all of this, right? You know, like you know when a big like commission check comes into my account, it's like, you know, very exciting. And then the other thing's like, well, wait a minute, I should save that. You know, like school's expensive. I need to like, you know, knock as much of that off as I can. And it's been really nice from both perspectives of not overspending the money I get and not like underspending it either. Just to like,
Yeah.
and I don't know why I've decided to like trust this. It's just like one thing a professor of mine mentioned at some point, and but either way, it's just been like a nice marker to have.
No,
like,
I think that's a brilliant idea. Like even if you're not willing to save, like the best thing that you can do is reinvest in yourself. This sounds like a Gary V podcast or something, but the best thing that you can do is reinvest in yourself. If you're grinding on TikTok, buy that new iPhone, buy that editing software that you want. Reinvest in yourself.
God, that's awful.
Yeah, I talk about it.
But at the same time,
yeah, I mean, I talk about him a little bit on yesterday's video.
Check the box up in the.
Check the. I feel like we did this before. Where we were...
For me, it's. I feel like we probably do this all the time, but for me, it's up here.
It might.
We'll fix it in post.
It might be over here. I don't know.
You know where the box is.
Yeah, there will be.
I don't understand. Like, why do YouTubers still feel obligated to like point that stuff out?
Yeah, point.
Like,
I guess it's more interactive. Like, hey, it's over here.
The description down below. Like, who doesn't know where the description is at this point?
Yeah, it's all these like very corny, like forced, like in the description down below, like.
Somehow there's like a third hand that sprouts out just so they can
check out the end card right here.
Yeah, all the shitty holding of things.
Yeah, like
never good.
Yeah, unless you're animating something to that movement, it's never never
and
good.
What's been funny, you would know more about like what this was than I did, but I just know that YouTube used to have like people would put in those like annotation box things.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they got.
Yeah.
I wonder when they got rid of that. Because I remember they had that when I started doing YouTube.
I don't know, maybe within the last like year or two or something, and they've gone to that like cleaner. Like now it's either just a channel or just a video box or whatever, or the little thing up in the corner. And that's like way nice, like a better UI. But it's funny to go back and look at older videos that were made for that old format where you could custom put in your own shit.
Yeah,
and like just stuff is not where it's supposed to be.
And
anymore.
It could just be like annotation markers where it could be a block of text of you trying to describe something or that was
that's
weird.
Funny to think about. It's got to be like thousands of hours of tutorial videos that just like don't work anymore. Because I remember the old YouTube tutorials would be, like some really obnoxious loud music over the grainiest like watermarked footage of Photoshop ever, and then it would just be the annotation boxes that come in filled with typos in all caps saying what you're supposed to do.
And now you don't get that anymore. You have to do it yourself in your own editing software now. You have to put those annotations up yourself.
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, I know. What YouTube has devolved into is,
I know. I've been working in Premiere this week. I'll do a little self-plug here for my own YouTube channel that has no content. Actually, it has one video that was for an architecture project.
Wasn't Doom talking about? Didn't Doom find your channel or something?
Yeah. People in the Discord or someone. Yeah, I think it was Doom in the Discord was talking about it. But I went and shot like a little short filmy. It's not like a short film. It's just like a cinematic. Like we just went out. We were both super bored, wanted to do something, so we went and shot this footage. And then a couple weeks later, like last week, we edited it together. And it was sort of funny. It was like we went out with no motive or like goal of what we were gonna do or shoot. We just like shot stuff with a vague, theme. And then we were like putting it together like a documentary. It wasn't like a movie or anything. It was written or you were telling a story. It was like, what can we pull out of this footage?
Yeah.
And so we did that, and I've been working in Premiere a lot the last few days, just trying to like polish it up, like color correction and that kind of thing. So I'm excited to put that up, just because it's been fun to do something very like process oriented. Like there's no expectation of performance or results because it's literally not even interesting. It's just a fun little process for us. But Premiere's a bitch. Is how I started on that little rant.
Yeah, it's editing is a lot like writing, to where it's if you if you're good at it, you don't really enjoy doing it, like the process. Like, I've never gone into the editing board and been like, I can't wait to edit my new video. Like, no one loves cutting clips together. And, like, yeah, I guess, like, it is fun sometimes to add, like, the crazy effects or whatever. But overall, like, it really is just about getting to that finished product. That's the most satisfying bit about it. But yeah, I don't think anyone in their right mind is like, I can't wait to cut down an hour of footage into 10 minutes. Like, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of, like, process-oriented thinking. It's probably come up on the show before. I know it's a big thing for Brett too. And, like, I just think it's like, I think you're going to get better results if you, like, focus on the process. And so it's been fun. Like, I've really enjoyed getting better at Premiere through it, because it's the first time I've worked in it since I made that other video on my channel like 3 years ago. And so it's been, like, satisfying and fun to do it and to get better at it. But you're right, like, so much of it is just like, God, that looks like shit.
It's
but
just
it is
tedious
really fun
work.
To see it take shape. You know, like, it was really fun. The first part where I went through, like, our 2 hours of footage and started just trying to, like, clip it, you know, and figure out what was useful and that kind of thing was miserable. But it was, like, satisfying at the end, because now I've got this stuff and, like, ooh, what are we going to get out of it? And so then when we started putting it together, it was, like, you know, really bad early on to just see the rough clips, but then you start to cut it. Like, it's been, like, lots of little victories. And then today I went through and did, like, I tried to pace it, you know, like, we sort of just had clips blocked out. And so I went and tried to time things and get the transitions going. And then it was like, wow, that's sweet. And then the audio's been the same and the color's been the same. So yeah, it's fun. And I think I seem to really be doing a whole, like, motivational speech today on find the little victories, you know, find those little moments in the victories,
guys. Yeah, find the victories. I think that's a good sentiment to end the pod. Do you want to tease towards the next question?
Yeah, so another one question episode. We've really been churning those out lately.
Yeah, we've been getting better at talking for longer.
We're just so conversational.
Yeah,
I think it's really just a testament to our talent as presenters and hosts.
What episode is this? Like 35, I think. 35.
I still strongly believe that we missed one somewhere in there that's, like, not in our doc.
I don't think we did, because I have a folder that has all the pod episodes numbered.
I don't know, Connor. I don't know.
All right.
Next week, gosh, I mean, as with so many of the questions we bring to the pod, it's hard to pin them down into just one thing, even though they are one sentence. Emotion, right? I think art. You know, there's the old sayings of you know, reality or life imitates art and fiction, or vice versa. And I think we're going to be touching on themes of that next episode, and why art forms are so evocative in terms of what emotions they trigger in us, specifically one medium we're going to be touching heavily on.
And why they fixate on that certain...
a specific feeling, because I feel like when you look at the broader scope of artistic mediums and artistic expression, creative expression, you get a vast swath of emotions and depictions and moments in time depicted. But I feel like there's one particular medium that kind of seems more centered on one particular feeling than anything else. So we're gonna be getting into that next episode. Look out for it. Throw a little wink in.
I can't wink.
Are you good at winking?
No, I'm awful at winking.
I think it's funny. I knew someone back in, like, middle school that physically couldn't wink unless she did, like, a whole wind up for it, you know? And it was just, like, hysterical. And she, like, it wasn't like she made a bit out of it, but it was just so funny. Like, she couldn't get herself to do it right unless there was a whole wind up. It's weird though, and it's annoying because it's something that's supposed to be cool. You know, we're
Yeah.
taught that winking is like a hey.
Yeah, if you're like really charismatic, you can really pull off a wink.
Yeah, not this guy.
Yeah,
Although
not
maybe
me.
that connects to my charisma.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, look
Yeah.
out for next episode. A lot of emotions. Hop in the Discord. We got some big announcements coming. Maybe since I'm holding on to the content for the Discord right now, I'll post it right after this episode's up tomorrow or something like that. So look out. That's coming in hot. We got some. I personally still just have my desire to wear the Tuesday Ghost. So we'll see. We'll see if anything comes from
Yeah.
that.
Well, I don't know.
It's just something I'm spitballing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Connor's Graveyard. Join it. And we'll see you.
And a huge guest.
Huge. Oh yeah. Huge. Yeah. Look out for the bombshell guest coming up.
Mega guest.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for just having a good time with us, guys.
Rock on!
Woo!